When is your exam? Is it 12th? Your environmental studies exam. When is it?
Yes, 12.
12th. Okay, so we have already completed our syllabus in the last class, and I gave you the last tutorial for any doubt that you might have. Since we don't have much time left, I will continue with the syllabus beyond eutrophication. That will not be there in your syllabus. Your syllabus is up till with eutrophication. Okay, so let's begin then. Yes, we have discussed all this. Now let's look into groundwater pollution. So groundwater um, and surface water. Water, when it is open to air, like lake or river or pond, such kind of water bodies are called surface water bodies. But groundwater is something which is a water storage area below the ground. Okay, you cannot directly see it. You need to drill a machine, a pipe inside, and then that pipe can draw the water out. Okay, so this is the basic principle of groundwater. Uh, Actually, it is called aquifer. The spelling is wrong here. Uh, it's called aquifer. Okay, so aquifer is a large water storage uh, space inside the soil. Okay, it contains only water. There, it is bounded by hard rock from all sides. So it is completely uh, detached from all kinds of pollution. But if your ground is, or if the surface of this uh, region is polluted, then dirty water may percolate inside and slowly they may seep into this aquifer. Okay, and you won't be even able to notice it because you cannot see it directly. It's not visible. And then if you start using water for from that aquifer, it's going to harm your health. Okay, so that is basically groundwater pollution. The dirty water, if it percolates into the uh, groundwater reservoir, then we call it groundwater pollution. What are the sources? Improper use of contaminated water. If the contaminated water percolates inside, contaminated water may be uh, water which uh, is in a pond and which has deemed unfit for usage, but that pond water is slowly seeping inside the soil. Okay, then leaking fuel and chemical tanks. So these leaking liquids may reach to the groundwater level. Then industrial and chemical spills. It's similar to that only. So if there is any kind of spillage, it may reach to the soil and finally into the groundwater level. Industrial emissions, extensive use of pesticides. When it rains, it may percolate inside the soil. Badly managed landfill. The landfill can contain harmful chemicals, and when rain will be received by this landfill, the dirty water may percolate inside the soil. Drainage of household chemicals. If you drain them directly into the soil, that can also affect. So the solution is basically uh, sewage water treatment. Whatever harmful chemicals is present, it should not leak, and whatever you are intentionally draining, it should be treated properly. Okay, so see how it affects actually. So all the dirty water uh, can slowly percolate from the sewer into the groundwater level, from the tanks into the groundwater level, from septic tank also it can go into the groundwater level. Hazardous waste injection well. Sometimes hazardous materials are not treated. Instead, they are directly buried into the groundwater, into the ground. That can the pipes can break and it can contaminate the aquifers. And finally, when you are using a pumping well to draw the water outside, And the issue that you can face is that that water will be contaminated, because if it contaminates at one certain position, the whole groundwater aquifer is going to get contaminated. Okay, so are you able to follow? Hello. Okay, so this is another picture, groundwater pollution prevention. So how can you prevent it? uh, Monitor aquifers. Aquifer water should be checked from time to time to see whether it has gotten uh, polluted or not. Find less hazardous substitutes. Whatever chemicals or whatever uh, wastewater that you are generating, can you use less polluting materials so that your water is not that harmful? Your discharge water is not that harmful. Leak detection system. Leakage should be prevented. Strictly regulating hazardous waste disposal. Waste disposal, you have seen in this picture, is that waste is dumped inside the ground. Such kind of things should not be allowed. Store hazardous material above ground, not under the ground. Okay, so that you can keep a tab on it so that it doesn't contaminate the water on the ground level. Okay, so this is one kind of uh, pollution, water pollution, which is called groundwater pollution. Now we will talk about ocean pollution. So how ocean gets polluted? So multiple reasons are there. One reason is oil spill. Maybe there is an oil tanker which has met a certain kind of accident and it has spilled all the oil that it was carrying on the ocean. Okay, offshore well, tankers, pipelines, and storage tanks. So these kinds of vessels may start leaking, and the water may have a lot of oil on it. Okay, as you know that oil is lighter than water, so it will float over the surface of the water. What could be the effect of it? I don't know if you have seen pictures. Those seagulls. Seagulls is a kind of bird actually found on the seashores. So they sometimes take a dip inside water to catch fish, and they come out with all the oil on their feathers, and so it becomes very heavy, and they find it difficult to fly. Okay. So slowly, actually, such kind of birds find it difficult to survive and they die. Okay. Same issue is faced by uh, your fishes also. If they come in contact with oil, it harms their skin and finally they die actually. So death of organism, loss of animal, significant economic impact, obviously because you are losing oil. So mechanical cleanup methods are there. Skimmers can be used. Skimmer is a type of uh, device which can actually remove the oil from the surface. Chemical cleanup methods, it could be you can add some chemicals which will coagulate the oil, and then it will be easier to accumulate all these particles and remove it from the water. Okay, so this kind of techniques can be used to clean the water if there is any oil spill. Now let's look into various kinds of effects of water pollutants. We have been briefly looking into various kinds of pollution. First of all, we talked about surface water pollution. Then we talked about groundwater pollution, and then we talked about ocean pollution. Okay, water present on the ground, water present under the ground, and water present on water bodies like ocean. So all kinds of pollution we have looked into. Now let's look into what are the effects of various kinds of water pollutants. What can be the adverse effect? So this is a summary of the various kinds of effects of water pollution. Change in color. The color of water may change. Okay, it may turn green. It may turn dirty. Change in taste and odor. Smell. It could smell. Actually, water does not have any taste and any smell. It does not have any color also. It's a colorless, tasteless, odorless substance. But if you can find color, taste, or odor, then you will know that this water is polluted. Depleting dissolved oxygen content. Water contains oxygen. That oxygen helps fish to survive and other uh, water creatures to survive. So because of pollution, you have already seen that oxygen level reduces. So if oxygen level reduces, there will be death of all those marine uh, animals. Curtailing the self-purification property. Do you remember what self-purification is? I have shown you while teaching biological oxygen demand in this slide. You have seen that this is the location of pollution, but you have seen that if it is a running water, if it is a river, then after certain distance, you will see that water gets self-cleaned. Okay, water can clean itself on its own. The river can clean itself on its own. This is the self-cleaning, capacity of a river. But if you are dumping too much pollutant, then this self-cleaning capacity reduces. Okay, so that is another effect of water pollution. Curtailing self-purification property. Community health hazards. Maybe the whole community could suffer from some kind of water-related disease. Okay, like typhoid, like malaria. These kind of things may happen. Increase the hardness of water. Your hardness of water maintenance. You know what hardness is? As far as I have seen, the water in Ahmedabad is hard enough. Because if you look into uh, your bathrooms or maybe any kitchen utensils, if water gets dried up on any surface, uh, there is a kind of white powder formed on the surface. So, can you people verify if you have seen such things?
Yes, sir.
If the
सर
water
मतलब
gets
एकदम दाग जैसा निकलता है वही ना, एकदम व्हाइट व्हाइट कलर का।
right, right. वो डर्ट नहीं होता है, that is basically calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate leads to hardness of water. Hard
Sir,
water किसको बोलो?
sorry to interrupt, but sir, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
सर वो जो प्रोजेक्ट आपने दिया था ना एनवायरमेंटल स्टडीज का गूगल क्लासरूम पे, तो सर उसमें जिसमें आप नेशनल और स्टेट रिलेटेड एंड वर्ल्ड रिलेटेड वो डेट्स और
वो
डेज
ट्यूटोरियल तुम लोग का नहीं हुआ, राइट?
हाँ सर, बट मुझे पूछना था सर, कुछ में डाउट था।
एक सेकंड रुको, कोई डाउट पूछने की जरूरत नहीं। कल तुम लोग का जो क्लास है वहीं पे मैं ये समझाऊंगा। ओके, तुम लोग को ये क्लास ले लेना था पर वो हो नहीं पाया, तो कल ले लूंगा और इसके बाद मैं एक नया तुम लोग को सबमिशन डेट दे दूंगा।
ओके सर।
तो जिसको
Okay,
जो
sir.
डाउट पूछना है तब पूछ लेना, ठीक है?
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
ओके, तो हार्डनेस ऑफ वाटर जो है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट एंड मैग्नीशियम कार्बोनेट। ओके, तो इन केमिकल्स के रहने के कारण क्या होता है, पानी जब सूख जाता है तो एक स्केलिंग होता है। ये जो व्हाइट पाउडर है इसका टेक्निकल टर्म है स्केलिंग, स्केलिंग हो जाता है। ओके, सो दैट एक्चुअली लीड्स टू हेयर फॉल, दैट ऑल्सो इफेक्ट्स आवर डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम। In small quantities, calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate is needed. Okay, but if it is in large quantity, the taste of the water changes. तुम लोगों को एक bitter taste आएगा। इसके बाद जो यूटेंसिल्स होंगे वो दिखने में गंदे लगेंगे। एक्चुअली गंदे नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट स्केलिंग। लेकिन लॉन्ग टाइम अगर ऐसे यूटेंसिल्स को यूटिलाइज करते हो तो उसका शाइन चला जाता है। फिर तुम लोगों का जो नॉब्स रहते हैं शावर के वो जैम हो जाते हैं, और एक्सेसिव अमाउंट ऑफ हार्डनेस होने से क्या होता है, इट स्टार्ट्स करोडिंग द बाथरूम मेटेलिक सरफेसेस। से फॉर एग्जांपल फ्लश का जो नॉब होता है जिसको पुश करते हो, उस पे पानी लगते लगते उस पे करोशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है। ओके, इस तरह की चीजें दिखने में आती है। सो दिस इज ए रिजल्ट ऑफ वाटर पोल्यूशन। इंक्रीज द पीएच। इंक्रीज द पीएच मतलब तुम लोगों को पता होना चाहिए, क्योंकि पीएच जितना ज्यादा होता है वाटर का एसिडिटी बढ़ता है या फिर बेसिसिटी बढ़ता है, बोलो? बेसिसिटी बढ़ता है, मतलब 7 से ज्यादा अगर पीएच होता है देन इट इज बेसिक वाटर, एल्कालाइन वाटर, राइट? सो पानी यूजुअली बेसिक होता है, इट्स बेसिक बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ हार्डनेस। हार्डनेस ऑफ वाटर लीड्स टू इंक्रीज इन पीएच, ये सब रिलेटेड है। पानी का टेस्ट आ जाना, पानी का टेस्ट आ जाना, हार्डनेस बढ़ जाना, पीएच बढ़ जाना, सबका एक ही रीजन है, कैल्शियम एंड मैग्नीशियम कार्बोनेट। इंटरफेरेंस इन फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस, ये क्या होता है? पानी के नीचे जो प्लांट्स होते हैं उनके फोटोसिंथेसिस होने में दिक्कत होती है, वन प्रॉब्लम। सेकंड प्रॉब्लम, सरफेस में अगर डर्टी ऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंस रहते हैं तो वो एल्गे के लिए एक खाने के तौर पे काम आता है। एल्गे एल्गे बढ़ जाता है जिसको एल्गेल ब्रूम बोलते हैं, ये तुम लोग भी देख चुके हो। तो एल्गेल ब्रूम के लिए क्या होता है, एल्गी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है सरफेस में, और सरफेस में एल्गी बढ़ गया तो क्या होगा, जो प्लांट्स, जो फिशेस है उनको सफिशिएंट अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिलने वाला। ये सारे इश्यूज है इफेक्ट ऑफ वाटर को। उन्हीं को, ये जो यहाँ के जो पॉइंट्स है, 3 3 × 8 पॉइंट्स है, इन्हीं पॉइंट्स को यहाँ पे 1 2 3 स्लाइड्स पे एक्सप्लेन किया गया है। तुम लोग ये स्लाइड्स खुद से पढ़ो, फिर मैं तुम लोग को बता रहा हूँ इनके मीनिंग्स, पढ़ लो खुद से। ओके, तो चेंज इन कलर ऐसे कैसे होता है? वाटर एक्वायर्स कलर व्हेन टेक्सटाइल एंड डाइंग ऑपरेशंस, फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स, माइनिंग, पेपर प्रोडक्शन, एनिमल स्लॉटर हाउसेस एटसेट्रा डिस्चार्ज देयर वेस्ट इनटू वाटर बॉडीज। तो ऐसे इंडस्ट्रीज से क्या होता है, वेरियस कलर्स आते हैं जो कि वाटर कलर चेंज करता है। ओके, टेस्ट एंड ऑर्डर क्यों होता है? बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ मिनरल्स, मेटल्स, फेनॉल्स, फ्री क्लोरीन, हाइड्रोजन सल्फाइड एटसेट्रा। ये सब इंडस्ट्रियल आउटलेट जब पानी में आके गिरता है तब जाके टेस्ट एंड कलर चेंज होता है। डिजॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन कंटेंट कब रिड्यूस होती है? The immediate oxygen demand due to impurities such as starch, nitrates, etc. depletes the dissolved oxygen, because this will lead to growth of algae and that will be indirectly reducing the dissolved oxygen content. Oxygenation process, how is it going to affect? If oil is present, because oil will keep floating on the surface of water, and so the depleted amount of oxygen from water cannot be replenished because the top surface is oil, and so it cuts off the access to oxygen. Okay, curtailing self-purification property. Dissolved chromium present is toxic to fish and aquatic life and does affect the natural self-purification property of the stream. So whatever dirt which fishes might consume, they will itself die. They will themselves die because of the presence of dissolved chromium. So self-purification becomes difficult. Health hazards, pathogenic microorganisms can lead to various kinds of disease that will lead to community health hazards. Hardness, how is it going to increase? You see, main reasons are calcium and magnesium, but there are other reasons also, presence of iron, aluminum, etc. Okay, there is a thing called permanent hardness and temporary hardness. You don't have to go that deep into it. So calcium and magnesium are your permanent hardness, whereas others are called temporary hardness. Okay, so this is just about that only. Hard water consumes soap. So if the water is hard, you will see that you will require more soap to form the froth. Okay, when you are washing clothes. But if water is not hard, you can wash your clothes with less amount of soap. Hard water results in scaling. That's what I was talking about. And even bursting of boilers and hot water pipes, because scaling is basically a kind of deposit. And if it is a narrow pipe, then that deposit will slowly uh, make the holes smaller, and so the pipes may get burst. Okay. Increasing pH is deleterious to aquatic life, because if the water becomes bitter, if the water becomes basic, then aquatic life cannot survive. Photosynthesis process can be hindered, and that is because of the presence of dye. These industries which uh, produces or manufactures dyes, okay, colors, those industries, then tannery industry, animal skin industry, okay, leather industry, these are called tannery industry. Such kind of industry uh, leads to some kind of effluents which, when falls into the streams, they interfere with the photosynthesis process of phytoplankton. Okay, you have already studied about this where? In this section. Here, I have taught you about it. Okay, so this is a slide telling you about 8 issues, and these 3 slides explains all those 8 issues. Okay, so that's all regarding effect of water pollutant. Now we will look into types of water pollutant and their sources. Okay, we could have now this point here, types of water pollutants and their sources. This you can also study from these uh, slides, because you already have the various sources of water pollutants. You also have various types of water pollutants. So from here also you can study the same thing. Although the title is given here differently, but you can study from these 3 slides also. Apart from that, you have this part, water pollutants. From here also you can understand the various types of water pollutants. Okay, so it's just a section, but it has already been studied. Now we will look into the last thing, is how to treat water. Water pollution you have already seen, but how water pollution treatment can be done? How can you reduce water pollution? How can you reduce, or how can you purify the dirty water? Okay, so depending on whether it is a point source or whether it is a non-point source, we can go for different kinds of solutions. Okay, So non-point sources reduce runoff. If it is a non-point source, non-point sources are those sources which is spread over a large amount of area. So in such cases, you have to reduce the runoff, which means you will not let the dirty water simply go out of the industry. Okay, you have to treat it there, or you need to properly contain it and take it away into the water treatment plant, or maybe you will run it off into the drainage system. Buffer zone vegetation. Some vegetation can be done surrounding the industry so that those dirty water can be absorbed over there. Reduce soil erosion. If soil erosion is reduced, then the dirty water will not percolate deep inside the groundwater level. Okay. Point sources, Clean Water Act, Water Quality Act. These are various kinds of laws that have been brought up so that various kinds of major sources which are fixed at one location can be regulated. Okay, so Clean Water Act, Water Quality Act, these are bills, these are acts enacted by the government of India. So now let's talk about these solutions in more details. Okay, non-point sources, reduce runoff. So the runoff water that you can see here, that you can reduce. How? By containing it properly. If you have proper drainage, then the drainage will be able to collect all this water and take it to the water treatment plant. Buffer zone near streams. See, there is a stream, but so that water cannot directly go into the stream, this vegetation is present because this stream water may be used by people for various purposes. And so these vegetation will block the entry of dirty water into the stream. Okay. Prevent soil erosion and only apply needed pesticides and fertilizers. If soil erosion is reduced and if pesticides and fertilizers are used as minimum as possible. Nowadays, it has been proven that organic farming is equally productive as compared to pesticides and fertilizer using. Okay, farming done by using pesticides and fertilizer. So organic farming can also be taken up. How to control point sources? So this is a big industry maybe, and it's a single location from where pollution is coming up. So what you will do? Regulate the navigable waterways, streams, wetlands, rivers, lakes, etc. Whatever that you have nearby, you need to control them. Okay, you need to control the flow of water into those river bodies, water bodies. The most developed countries use laws to set water pollution standards. So, if your industry is polluting more than it is allowed to, then your industry will face penalties. It's like that. Clean Water Act sets standard for key pollutants, how much pollutant you can throw into the river. Okay, the river water will be tested regularly. If it is found that it contains more pollutant, then your industry will be fined, or it may lead to complete closure of the industry also. So you have to be very careful that your industry is not polluting water. Requires permit for discharge, how much discharge you can allow. Permits need to be taken from government. Sewage treatment plant you have to develop of your own for your own pollutants. Requires permits for wetland destruction. If there is wetland, not just river, any kind of wetland, you will require permit so that your wetland is not destroyed. This is not applicable to non-point sources because non-point sources is spread over a large area, and so you cannot specifically target any place. Okay. Goal all waterways fishable and swimmable. Such kind of Clean Water Act keeps this in goal also, that your waterways can grow fish. You can swim into such river beds. That much pure it should be. Okay, so that is regulated by Clean Water Act. Now let's look into a water pollution treatment plan. What kind of things you can achieve? Okay, so primarily it removes 60% of solids. All dirty solids are removed from water. 30 to 40% of oxygen demanding wastes those wastes which will consume oxygen, 30 to 40% of them are removed in the primary water treatment plant, because it has got so many steps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So in the primary step only, these two things will remove. So in secondary water treatment plant, you will see that biological process is taken up to remove 90% of biodegradables, all those organic substance which will biodegrade and consume oxygen. 90% of it is removed. Here only 30 to 40%, here 90%. Okay. And in the tertiary phase, which is the advanced zone, there you will use some more advanced technique so that close to 100% purification is done. Okay. And finally, before you discharge into the river, you will put chlorine and ozone into the water so that the ozone will increase the oxygen level, chlorine will disinfect the water so that all kinds of pathological substances are killed. Okay. So this is the process of disinfection. UV rays can also disinfect. You already know that. So this is a water treatment plant. So in the primary stage, what is done? This bar screen will trap all the solid particles. Grit chamber will trap. It will lead to some settling of the solid products which was not trapped in this bar screen. Okay. And finally, in the settling tank, water is slowly passed into the next step. Because of that, what will happen is all the heavy particles which can finally settle will be settled over here. Okay, it will not pass into the next stage. Here, oxygen is passed into it. Aeration tank, हवा मिलता है इसको. So because of that, some kind of organic matters which were not being trapped over here will form other compounds so that they can also settle in this step. Okay, you see two settling tank, one before aeration, one after aeration, because aeration actually helps in increasing the size of the particles, and slowly here they can also settle. Then chlorine disinfection tank. In this tank, chlorine is used so that the water can be disinfected, and finally it is transferred into the river. Okay. And see, in these two stages, you have received so much sludge. Okay, those sludge will slowly come into this chamber. It is called sludge digester. This is properly dried in this step, and then you can use it as a landfill. Sometimes this can also be used as manure. You can see it can be applied to cropland or pasture or rangeland, so that this can lead to growth of grass, and so that cattle can consume it. Okay, so this waste can also be actually utilized to good purposes. Okay, so this is the schematic diagram of a water treatment plant. So this brings us to an end of water pollution. You can go through these slides. It's already uploaded on Google Classroom. I hope you know that. So you can go through it, and in case of any doubt, you can ask me your questions. You can take a break for the rest of 15 minutes that is left for our class. Any questions regarding this PPT, you can ask me now.